Okay. So this requires you to remember some of the things that we did before. So for example, if you divide 1 by 0 plus, what does that mean? Because you're dividing a positive by positive, the result should be positive. And if you just think about some numbers that approach to 0, let's say 0.001, if you divide 1 by 0.001, you get 1,000, and so on and so on. You can convince yourself this will be positive infinity. Whereas if you divide 1 by 0 minus is a negative number, because we are using numbers that's approaching to 0 from the left of 0, which is negative. So for this case, you still get infinity, but it's a negative infinity. So we have to use both in order to solve these questions. So for the first one, it's 1 plus e to the 0 plus, 1 divided by 0 plus, which is 1 over 1 plus e to the infinity. E to the infinity is infinity, and infinity plus 1 is infinity, so you have 1 over infinity, which is 0. So that's the answer for A. For this case, we are dividing 1 by e to 1 plus e to 1 over 0 minus. 1 over 0 minus, as we said here, it's negative infinity, and e to negative infinity is 0, because this is 1 over e to infinity. So you get 1 plus 0, which gives you 1. Now find all horizontal asymptotes of y equals to 1 over 1 plus e to 1 over x. What determines the horizontal asymptote again? The limit x going to infinity. And also another one is the limit x going to negative infinity. So the value of this limit determines the horizontal asymptote. If none of these limits exist, then the horizontal asymptote doesn't exist at all. Okay? All right, so let's think about this. 1 over 1 plus e to the 1 over x power. When you plug in infinity to x, you get 1 over infinity at the exponent of e, and 1 over infinity, because that's equal to 0, you have 1 over 1 plus e to the 0th power. And anything to 0th power is 1. So the limit is 1/2. Therefore, the asymptote is y equals to 1/2 is the asymptote. Now, you should really finish here. You should also check when x goes to negative infinity. And in some rare cases, the two limits don't agree, and you get another horizontal asymptote going to the left. But for this case, it will give you the same value, because if you plug in negative infinity, this will be negative infinity down here, but 1 divided by negative infinity is still 0. So you get the same answer. So in both cases, you'll be getting y equals to 1/2 as the only horizontal asymptote. Yes?
You said that if we set it equals to negative infinity and it doesn't equal the positive.
If you get a second value that's not equal to this, then you get another horizontal asymptote. Yeah. So, I mean, a moment ago we did this example, y equals to 1 over 1 plus e to the negative x. This is an example where you have two different horizontal asymptotes, because if you send x to infinity, this goes to 1. If you send x to negative infinity, this goes to 0. So you have two horizontal asymptotes, y equal to 1 and y equal to 0. But here, in both limits, you get the same value, y equals to 1/2, so there's only one horizontal asymptote.